More than 2,000 years have passed since a man in the kingdom of Meng sat by a river, watched the fish, laughed at the solemn faces of his neighbors, and wrote down stories that no one quite knew how to take seriously. And yet here we are, still listening to him. That alone is a kind of miracle. Empires rose and fell, dynasties came and went, whole ways of thinking were born and forgotten. But the laughter of Zhuangzi kept echoing, passed from hand to hand, from heart to heart, like a small flame that refuses to go out. The most surprising part of his legacy is how quietly it spread. Zhuangzi never founded a school in the way Confucius did. He had no academy, no list of disciples carved in stone, no ambition to be remembered. He would have found the whole idea funny, and precisely because he grasped at nothing, nothing could quite let go of him. His book, that strange and shimmering collection of parables, became one of the great treasures of Chinese civilization, read by poets, painters, hermits, and emperors alike, each finding in it something different, each carrying away a little more freedom than they came with. When Buddhism traveled from India into China, it met Zhuangzi waiting at the door. The two recognized each other like old friends. Buddhism spoke of emptiness and the letting go of the grasping self, and the Chinese mind, already shaped by Zhuangzi's stories of the fasting heart and the luminous forgetting, heard something deeply familiar. Out of that meeting grew Chan Buddhism, and when Chan crossed the sea to Japan, it took the name we know today as Zen. So when a Zen master answers a serious question with a joke or points at the moon and tells you not to mistake the finger for the moon, you are hearing, faintly, the voice of Zhuangzi. The butterfly is still dreaming. His influence ran far beyond religion. He soaked into the art and poetry of the East like rain into soil. Think of those landscape paintings where a tiny human figure sits beneath enormous mountains, almost lost in the mist, perfectly at peace with being small. That is Zhuangzi's vision made visible, the human being not as the master of nature, but as one note within its vast music. The great poets who wandered the hills with a jug of wine, writing verses about the moon and the empty boat and the cry of the gibbon, were his children. They learned from him that the highest art is the one that looks effortless, that flows like water and leaves no trace of strain. And what about us here now, so far from ancient China, with our crowded calendars and our buzzing devices and our anxious need to be useful? Why does this old man still speak to us? I think it is because he saw, very clearly, the trap we are all caught in. He saw how we exhaust ourselves chasing reputation, how we split the world into winners and losers, right and wrong, success and failure, and then suffer inside the cage we ourselves have built. And he offered a way out that costs nothing and asks for no special talent. Stop forcing. Loosen your grip. Let the mind grow quiet enough to mirror the world instead of fighting it. Take yourself a little less seriously, and you will find you can breathe again. That is the thread that runs through everything we have shared, across all these chapters. From the butterfly who dissolved the wall between dream and waking, to the cook whose blade never dulled because he followed the natural openings, to the gnarled tree that lived long precisely because it was useless, to the man who sang at his wife's death because he understood the great transformation. Every story pointed in the same direction. They all said, in their own playful way, that life becomes light the moment we stop wrestling it into the shape we think it should have. The Tao is not somewhere far off, to be reached by struggle. It is here, in the breath, in the river, in the ordinary day, waiting for us to relax into it. And so we come to the end of our journey together, and I want to thank you truly for walking this whole path at my side. You have given something precious, your attention, your quiet, your willingness to listen. And that listening is itself the very thing Zhuangzi praised, the open and empty space in which understanding can gather. I hope these stories have loosened something in you, the way they have in me, a knot here, a worry there, a little more room to laugh. May you carry his lightness with you into your days, breathing from your heels rather than your throat, meeting whatever comes without forcing, free of the roles and the labels that never were the whole of you. The old sage is smiling somewhere, glad of the company. Go gently, go freely, and let the river carry you. Thank you with all my heart for being here.